Welcome back to a brand new video series, Mastering Mod Organizer 2. Whether you're making the move from Vortex to MO2 like I did, or you're looking to get the most out of MO2, this video series will help guide you through in simple and straight to the point tutorials. I'm ADH Decent, let's get stuck in. For the purposes of this video, I will use a selection of mods and applications that I have already installed to be able to clearly explain and break down the elements for you. So don't worry if your MO2 window looks a little bit more bare than this one. It'll get there. The basics. Mod Organizer 2 main screen. Your left-hand pane is your main overview of your mod list. It shows a complete list of installed mods. Here, you can rename, reorder, label, categorize, and much more. Each mod is split into columns containing information specific to it. On the far left is a checkbox to enable and disable the mod. Then you have your mod name. You can choose to name it during installation, or simply click on the mod name to change it. Top tip. Beginning the names of large mods with abbreviations can help you when installing patches for these mods later on. By using the abbreviation at the beginning of the main mod and the same abbreviation at the beginning of the patches, you can determine where in the load order it needs to be to correctly allow both mods to work together. The next column is conflicts. Conflicts are where there are two or more mods accessing and trying to overwrite the same files upon output. The decision is made to determine which mod has final say and overwrites the other. This is where your load order is crucial. This column shows which is overwriting and which overwritten in symbol form. If there are no symbols, there are no problems. The small bolt with the plus icon indicates that mod is overwriting files from another mod. The small bolt with the minus icon indicates the mod has files overwritten by another mod. Symbols with both the plus and minus icons indicate the mod has both been overwritten and is overwriting other mod files. If you click on a mod with one or more of these symbols, you can see which mods these are, as they will highlight themselves in either red or green. Mods that are overwriting the mod selected will highlight in red. Mods that are being overwritten by the mod selected will highlight in green. The next column is flags. For the majority of the time, you will likely see a little heart symbol with a question mark over it. This is because it is flagged as not yet endorsed on Nexus mods. If endorsed on Nexus, this icon will disappear. This only applies if you have Nexus integration enabled, but more on that later. Another icon is the green pin, which applies when you are tracking a mod on Nexus mods. You can choose to track a mod by right-clicking on the mod in your list view and selecting Information, and then clicking on Untracked Tracked button. More on this page later. The next column is Categories. MO2 has a number of default categories available to choose from. This list can be edited if needed, but there really isn't any need to, as the options are quite extensive. Categories are purely for visual organization. The categories you decide for mods will not impact the running of the game, but will allow you a clearer view of the types of mods you have installed, and will keep your MO2 main panel organized. To select a category or categories for a mod, right-click on the mod and select Change Categories. Here, you can select whichever options are applicable for the mod. If you select more than one category, only the primary category will show. To change the primary category, click the primary category option and select your choice. Only the categories selected for that mod will appear in this list. Note: you will find categories will have already been assigned to mods automatically for many if you download from Nexus Mods. You can still change these if you wish. Now we have version number. This one's pretty self-explanatory. This will show the version number of the mod you have installed. If the text is green, it's the latest version available. If it is red, it is an outdated version of the mod, and an updated version is available on Nexus Mods. As Mod Organizer 2 doesn't automatically update, this is a useful nod to its current status. As we've seen with Steam and Bethesda, auto updates, or updates of any kind, are not always a good thing, and it isn't always vital to update. If it ain't broke. Again, with this column, Nexus Mods may have already filled this field with the version number. However, this isn't always successful, and sometimes fills the field with somewhat random digits and letters if it can't get the right data. Installation column is simple enough, the date and time of your installation. Then the priority column. This is an interesting one, as it can easily be confused with load order. Mod priority, as listed under this column, is the order in which loose files are loaded into the game. Load order refers to plugins, and the order in which they are loaded into the game and should be handled by loot. The mod priority listed in this column will change automatically when you drag and drop mods in the pane to reorder them. You can also type the number in this box yourself if you wish to move it around without dragging and scrolling up a long list. Don't worry yourself with this column too much unless you don't organize by priority, which I wouldn't really suggest, as it gets very difficult to keep track of everything. When you organize by priority, the numbers should display in ascending order from top to bottom. Mods at the top of the list load first, and mods at the bottom last. It's the simplest way to stay organized with a large number of mods installed. Your right-hand pane has 5 tabs. Plugins. A list of plugins you currently have installed and the ability to enable or disable. You will also see the priority order listed. The first should always be the game files, as seen here. The load order depends on the mods you choose to install and their significance in the way they change elements of the game. As a rule of thumb, the larger mods that overhaul the way the game operates, such as USSEP, should always load before the mods that have minor changes, such as cosmetic changes to items or scenery, or additional followers, and so on. It is worth remembering that the loot tool will save you a lot of hassle here, as it does order the plugins for you when you run it. However, sometimes you may have a personal preference as to which mods overwrite others, as we've just looked at. Checking back here whenever you have troubles in-game is something to remember to do. Sometimes you can find the plugins will be installed but not enabled, as you will see the little checkbox beside the mod name. By default, they should enable when you add them to the game, but, as with many aspects of modding, it doesn't always go to plan. Archives tab. This is a list of bundled assets used by mods and injected and loaded into the game. Data tab. A comprehensive overview of the data accessed and used along with the directory paths. This will be used when installing applications such as Bodyslide and For's New Idols to properly install these applications through MO2. Saves tab. A list of current saved game files for your game. Downloads tab. This tab will contain a list of your mod downloads and installations. This is where your Nexus downloads will appear if you use the Mod Manager download feature of Nexus Mods, or where you drag and drop files to be installed if downloading manually. You can see the status of a mod here, whether it be installed, uninstalled, downloaded or downloading, along with the title of said mod. To tidy up this panel, you can automatically hide mods that you have already installed. Note: plugins, data, and downloads are the ones you will likely use regularly. Perfect time for a brew. In the next video, we will look at profiles and instances. What are they, and how are they different? I'll see you there.